Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Dear brothers and sisters, Ramadan Mubarak. During the months of Ramadan, we will be spending few minutes highlighting few lessons from each part of the Quran. The Quran, we know it's 30 parts. So today, we want to start with the first part. And brothers and sisters, if you go to a store and you want to buy a leather jacket, you'll find three kind of jackets. One of them, the price is cheap price, quality is not that good. The second one is high price, it's a brand, it's been around for years, it shows durability, it shows the quality, and it can withstand all kind of conditions and weather conditions. The third one, you see, it's a brand which is a little cheaper than the second one. The material looks good like the second one, and the price, as we said, is a little cheaper. And you will be tempted which one I would buy. Either I buy, of course, the first one, nobody want to buy because you're looking for something strong, something good. Will you buy the second one or the third one? You will be tempted to buy the third one because it's a price saving and the material look really close. So why not? Brothers and sisters, get a lighter and try to initiate a piece of or take a piece of that leather jacket and try to burn it. And you'll see what kind of material. The one which is expensive, been around for years and proven good, it will never gonna catch fire. But the third one, which is made out of synthetic material, it will catch fire easy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, dear brothers and sisters, have classified in the first part, in the second chapter, number one, the most expensive brand, in 4 verses. The guided, the believers, the people who are pious and have consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he, in a nutshell, he said, you do the prayers, you do the fasting, you do the charity, they do whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they unchanged in the fire. When you try to, when you're in difficult circumstances, they stand still, they're strong, their belief inside their heart will keep them going. During difficulties, hard times, they're strong. Same thing that like the second leather jacket. You try to burn it, strong. Nothing gonna happen to it. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the disbelievers. The first class of leather jackets, which is nobody wanna buy it, is very obvious, that's a bad quality. In 2 verses. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about the third class of the leather jacket, which are the hypocrites, in 13 verses. Dear brothers and sisters, in a nutshell, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that these hypocrites are not authentic. That these hypocrites are doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided and ask them not to do. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks the believers to stand still, to perform all the good actions. But the hypocrites, they will stand in the prayer, and after they go home, they'll mock the believers. Dear brothers and sisters, the hypocrites in the times of fire. You look in the seerah, Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul, the very famous hypocrites. What happened? During the battle of Uhud, he withdrew. He went back with almost 3,000 of the fighters. One of the biggest hypocrites. When a war is coming, when death, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want to prove the authenticity of your material, this is where a believer and a disbeliever and a hypocrite will be identified. Dear brothers and sisters, the characteristics of hypocrites are they lie. They manipulate the truth all the time. The truth, he'll try to twist it so he can get what he wants. Number two, brothers and sisters, they betray. Means when he gave you a promise, when he committed to do something, he will not fulfill the promise. Dear brothers and sisters, lastly, they would love corruption on earth. And corruption can be in any form. Stealing public funds, taking people's rights, be able to induce fights, induce wars, making people hate each other, separate countries, separate people into categories. These are their characteristics. They don't like peace. They don't like stability. They don't like people are committed to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So dear brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you become from the first kind of those who are guided, of those who has taqwa, or those who have consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will be able to identify those hypocrites. And you're not going to fall into buying their plans, buying their products, buying their tricks. But this is need a lot of work to be able to gain that taqwa, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have promised. That this is your, the car, and there is a dashboard. The taqwa is basically the dashboard, the indicators. The lights will come showing that there's something wrong with that guy, something wrong with what he's doing. That's when the taqwa is in. You'll have a red flag coming out, telling you that this guy is a hypocrite. That doesn't mean you go and fight, no, but stay away. Don't follow him. Don't believe him. And stay on your track to success, to become among the first al-muttaqin, the guided ones, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted paradise to them. أقول قولي هذا، أستغفر الله لي ولكم.